Hello, Hernan. This is a message just for you for checking in with your assignment this week. Hopefully, you're working very hard and still you have a little bit of time to basically retouch a few things. It's looking great from last week. Lots of things which kind of like going into place. I heard your mentor wanted you to actually stop the actual trolley from going, and I think that that's probably the biggest part that you got to work on for your assignment this week. Weight wise on the box, it's much better. I just think you need to be a bit more, um, kind of like when lifting it up. I think that the motion at the top, you just got to be a bit more kind of like slow so it doesn't fly up so high and drop back. You almost want it to be a bit kind of like slower as he kind of like brings it down to keep the weight consistent. Um, I think that basically when he starts pushing it, you want the movement of the trolley to be a bit slower, really, because it kind of like is gaining a lot of momentum right now, and you've already established that the weight of the box is actually quite heavy. Loads and loads and loads of other boxes are going to be quite kind of like heavy as well. So if it's moving slower, basically it'll be more plausible that you can basically stop it. So the other thing that you have to do is the pose that you have in frame 200. I think you need to make it less extreme right now, so that he's not flying forward so much. What you need to do is also favor the ground, him actually getting on the ground much faster. So that pull there, instead of him flying off upwards, you almost want him to fly forwards and also to start basically catching his feet on the ground. Because if he flies off so big at the beginning, it's not going to sell the end part as well. So very much what I think you need to do is that you need to get, the pose from frame 200 less extreme, bring down his bum, basically make him fly off in that direction, make him get his feet on the ground as quickly as you can within reason, and then basically spend more frames of him actually pulling the weight. So essentially what I mean by that is that in frame, you know, 218, he's already stopped the trolley and he's not even flying back yet. So is the things that he hasn't put his feet on the ground yet and he's already stopped it. You can't stop it until his feet have to hit the ground, his body needs to lean over, and then he has to go back. That's kind of like the way that you're convinced that he's slowing it down because both feet are on the ground, and once it's stopped, he can start pulling it back. Those things can't happen at the same time because after frame 216, you've got him basically pulling back to frame 230, and it's already kind of like going completely back. So you need to establish that stop a little bit sooner. Then he can pull back to that extreme over there. And he takes kind of like a big stop and then he slides forwards again. There isn't, you'd basically want him to basically, instead of at frame 264, he looks like he's got a lot of control over the weight. And then by frame 279, just before 80, he's kind of like, he's sliding forwards again. What you'd really want him to do is basically just slide off from his feet, so his feet should start sliding forward, and what he should do is basically lose his grip on the floor, and that's the way that he could fly out, at least from what I can tell. So very much it's like the pose in frame 248. Have a look at it there, because it's kind of like his feet are kind of like locked going back. He slides forward a little bit, and then kind of like he tries to do it again, and it's that sliding forward isn't just right. You've got the right idea, it's just not happening the way that I think it should do. And that's hard to explain because I haven't got exactly the right idea of how to fix it, but look at that. I think it's mostly got to do with the posing of the body, finding a way that his weight has to basically shift forward somehow so that we can actually get to a position where it kind of like speeds up. But I think that the exit, because kind of like from frame 181, him flying out so quickly and for the pallet to actually slide off so suddenly at the end doesn't exactly make a lot of sense. I'm not sure entirely how you can fix that. You've still got 50 frames, that's quite a lot of time, but I think that probably what might be able to help you is to actually go kind of like, Hang on a sec, that's 250 frames. I think you're over your frame count already. Maybe Amenta's giving you a bit more time. Or maybe you do have 250 frames. But anyway, I'd say have a look at that very big speed up at the end, and I think there might be a better way of ending this. Maybe the pose of him flying out might not be kind of like the strongest one. Maybe you could have him slide out, but I'll leave that in your ballpark, depending on what your mentors told you. But anyway, that's a quick catch up. We'll see you soon, man. Take care. See ya.